Hi there. I don't know if you saw Emma Raducanu on Saturday. I watched the match. She was absolutely sensational in beating Leylah Fernandez, who was a higher ranked player. It was a tough game. It was a straight sets win, but every point was fought for hard. There was very little margin in it, and it was just that extra bit of margin that can mean the difference between winning and losing. And in her case, it was the difference between a $2.5 million cheque and a $1.25 million cheque for the runner-up. But it was sensational, and she is a sensational, already a superstar, and she became a millionaire on Saturday at just 18 when she was handed that cheque for $2.5 million by the sponsors after winning the US Open. I said in straight sets as a qualifier. The only the second British women player to win a major. The last one was Virginia Wade in 1977 when she won Wimbledon, and the only qualifier to get through to the final and then win a major. I mean, it's just, she's already in the history books, this girl. She's just got it all. And as I watched her collecting the check from the sponsors, she didn't say anything. She just she didn't look too surprised. I suppose she knew how much the prize money was, but that the commentators and the people in the sport are already predicting that she could become the richest woman, or maybe the richest person in British sport of all time. And they're saying that she's the most famous Brit after the Queen. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you look at people like David Beckham and but anyway, that's just so it's no pressure, Emma, no pressure. It's just the whole weight of the world's on you now, and that's where she needs to kind of balance things out now, and that's where she needs her team to keep her feet on the ground. But she's certainly got the whole package, hasn't she? She's not only a great player, the way she plays the game is just so exciting to watch, but she's also got brains, and she's just done her A-levels. I mean, she could easily go to university if she wanted to. She's got the charisma, the talent. Certainly she's got that appeal, hasn't she? That advertising appeal that sponsors and advertisers want. She's definitely got the whole package. And I think that could propel her to the ranks of sporting superstardom, like the likes of David Beckham and Cristiano Ronaldo, if she continues to win out there on the court. There was a very famous Russian player that was she was, I can't remember her name now, but she was a very beautiful, tall Russian girl who made a lot of money from sponsorships. I remember her with with Rolex and that sort of thing. But then her performances started to wane on the court. In fact, she was earning more than some of the sporting stars who were doing better than her. And I think then her performances on the court started to wane a bit, and maybe she got tied up too much in the celebrity part of things. So I don't know what happened to her after that. But I hope that doesn't happen to Emma. I hope she keeps working on her game, because that's what's got her where she was. Now, Emma was born in Toronto, Canada, to a Romanian father and Chinese mother. Of course, I said this last week. They migrated to the UK for better opportunities. And she's the first qualified to go through to this late stage. She had to play more games to get into the tournament because she wasn't a highly ranked player. I think it was only 150 in the rankings. And she played someone called Leylah Fernandez, who's also from a migrant background, or parents are, father Ecuadorian, mother Filipino Canadian. And it's already been sort of touted that maybe these migrants are given that work ethic, that harder work ethic, that you've got to work hard. And certainly migrants who come to this country in America do well, but sometimes their children do even better, because they really push and drive their children to get a good education, or to get a good job, or to excel in business. Whatever it is, they seem to have that gene that propels them forward. If you're a migrant, then you've already got something special about you, because you've already taken a certain risk. In her parents' case, to move from Canada, which is a nice country, to the UK to seek better opportunities in the world of finance. But that takes risk. And what about the thousands of nurses that leave their country to go abroad, to leave their families behind, to build a better life? It shows they've got guts, they've got some drive in them. And it's the same with Brits who've gone to Australia and America and Hong Kong. They've also done very well as well. So let's not take that away from them. But there's something about migrants that succeed against all the odds, and we know that they do very well in this country, from whether it's from East Africa, from India, from Hong Kong, China, Philippines, whatever, you name it. There's definitely something about them, and I'm sure that she will inspire many thousands of young people to get into sports, whether it's tennis or other sports, and that's great. And she'll need to keep her feet on the ground, concentrate on her game, as I said, and she'll need good financial advice, because this money is going to just come in like crazy. I mean, imagine you're 18 and you're banking a check for $2.5 million. It's mind blowing almost. I'm not saying she's poor or anything, but to have that sort of money in your bank account at 18, when she's just done her A-level, she just passed her A-level, she hasn't really started what you might call a proper job yet. She's won the US Open, she's made history. It must be a lot to take in for her. So she's going to really need to keep it. And too many young stars, whether it's in music or whatever, become instant millionaires but end up broke, because the money comes in, they go out and spend it on cars and buying properties they can't really afford to maintain, and then if the income stops coming in, it all goes wrong. One of the biggest problems they have is they don't pay their tax. Will Smith said this, is that it's easy to get money in fast, but then you've got to realise that roughly half that money is going to the tax man, or in America they call it Uncle Sam. That's going to the tax man, and if they spend that money and then the money doesn't keep coming in, the tax man the next year comes and, where's our share? And you say, well, I've spent it, and then they can make you bankrupt, which does happen to a lot of sports guys. I've written about it in the book, the stars that made it and lost it all. So you've got to be very careful. And fortunately for Will Smith, his career went from music and TV into movies, so his income kept going up. But had it stopped at one point, then it could have gone wrong. And you see this with pop groups. They get an advance from the record company, spend it, then they don't pay their tax. They have a few hits, and then they fizzle out, and the record company drops them. We've seen this with stars from the X Factor. Who what are they doing now? Some of them are back to doing their old jobs. Some of them have gone broke. Some of them spent all the money. Lottery winners are another example. Many lottery winners blow all the money within a year and end up broke again. And that's down to their mindset and obviously their education as well. So she's got to keep her feet firmly on the ground and get advice before she goes out and starts spending the money. I think she's got a good family, and I think she will be okay. That's my own opinion, and she'll become a superstar if she just keeps working on her game. So according to the book Secrets of the Millionaire Next Door, only a tiny percentage of millionaires are sports stars and celebrities and music stars. So is sporting really the best route forward to become wealthy? Well, no, not really. Obviously, it's a route out of poverty for many people. They think, well, I'm not academic, so I'm going to become a footballer or whatever it is. But, there are tens of thousands of footballers who have not made it in football. One of the guys I know in football who was a good footballer, he was up there, not in the Premier League, but he was a couple of leagues below, but he was a good footballer, fit guy. And then he made it onto a group, Ratsu, I think they're called Ratsu, on the X Factor. They won the X Factor a couple of years ago, but I don't know what happened since then. I don't know whether he's, I don't see the group on TV anymore, so I don't know what happened. But, and he said there are many players like him that, are not quite good enough to get into that Premier League. Some don't get the breaks they need or whatever it is. And tennis is like, the rankings go on to many hundreds of tennis players who go around the world, perhaps not winning a tournament, never winning a major, barely scraping by. So, on percentages, to get into, say, acting or tennis or music, the odds are against you, as opposed to taking other forms of career in order to be wealth. And in that book, Millionaire Next Door, it said that the vast majority of millionaires are not in sport or celebrity. They are, in fact, running their own businesses, sometimes mundane businesses, dry cleaners, small businesses, building firms, that sort of thing. Nothing too fancy. They just build up wealth over time by managing their money And the first step to building wealth for any of you and turning your finances around quickly is financial education. Always has been and always will be. Because if you've got the financial education, then no matter how much you earn, you'll keep more of it rather than letting it slip through your fingers like sand. Okay, so millionaires and millionaire habits have been studied and documented at academic levels in Harvard studies, longitudinal studies, and in best-selling books like The Science of Getting Rich, Think and Grow Rich, and my own book, Yes, Money Can Buy You Happiness, of course. And you know, some of these books were written over a century ago in terms of The Science of Getting Rich, and you know, so there's nothing new about this. You know, although you can have a new twist on things, and things have changed and technology has changed. We know what these secrets are, we know what these habits are, because success leaves tracks. But sometimes it takes more than just reading a book to inspire you to do these things. You can read a book and say, yeah, that's a great thing, that's a good idea, and then put it down and do nothing about it. So I've put together a special training for you. It's a free training you can look at right now. You can click on the link, and that, you know, this could immediately transform your finances. I'm going to give you a special gift to help you transform your finances as well. And I can give you ideas to turn your finances around and get you on the step towards financial freedom within 28 days. So have a look at the free training below. And once again, great to see. Emma, that was so inspiring on Saturday. Emma, it lifted the whole country, and best of luck to you. Good luck. And so look at my free training. And Emma, if you're watching this now, you can look at my free training as well, so that you can keep more of the money you earn. Thanks a lot, and bye for now. Have a great day.